Previously on the bridge.
I did find something interesting, though.
Haven't heard that one before.
No, you really haven't.
Okay. This is, Yvette, again. I'm standing outside of Payne Manor. That's spelled Payne. And yes, I'm aware that the name also bears a close rhyming resemblance to a certain superhero's house. I don't name these places people, I just investigate them.
Did you forget what happened in Watchtower 8? You left a stack of dead bodies in your wake. You're both still on probation for that one. And now, in case you needed to be reminded, you've taken 2 people hostage. How do you figure that to be a good thing?
Well, we never said it was a totally good thing.
Yet.
I don't think that's a nice way to talk to people.
Whatever, Aunt Yvette. Aunt Yvette?
Not entirely. This is just the voice you long to hear. I figured I'd help you out.
But when I agreed to this, to spy on my friends, to lie to some seriously dangerous people, you didn't think to tell me the truth?
Frank,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
we have a problem.
What now?
There's a small boat coming our way.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Are we? Yeah, no, I guess not.
Did that make you feel better?
Actually, yes.
Guys, thank you, Edda.
Much appreciated, dear. It's past time we heard their answer, isn't it?
Now then,
Do we have a deal?
There has been an unexpected spoiler for this episode. Please hold as we rewind. Rewind.
I still don't think that's tight enough.
I think you've done an admirable job in making sure we're all tied up.
We're not planning on escaping.
Yet.
It's almost like you don't trust us.
Gee, I wonder why.
You've got a lot of nerve showing back up here.
Relax, Raj. We come in peace.
Yeah, right.
Ask yourselves this. Why would we make an encore appearance in your little watchtower when there are much better places to be?
Ocean view, for example. Looks like you've added another wonderful little addition to the family since we were last here.
How exciting.
Roger, make that knot a little tighter.
Gladly.
Okay. We're here because we have information that you need. All we want is to have a place to stay while we figure out our next move.
Why should we believe anything you say?
Because we've heard quite a few whispers in the wind. We know what's coming for you.
And it isn't pretty.
You've made a lot of enemies. Not bad for a bunch of uninspired nobodies.
I don't have to stand here and listen to this.
Guess he couldn't handle the truth.
When you tell it, it's a pretty subjective thing.
Ouch. If we had feelings, we'd be hurt.
Actually, I think Birdie had the right idea. I'm done here.
Good. The dreamers are gone. Now it's time for the pragmatists to talk.
Tell us what you know.
Now. You need something from us. We need something from you.
Though I do feel a little hazy. You didn't have to knock us out that hard.
Consider it our version of returning the favor.
And there's more where that came from, so any day now.
Promise you won't turn us away.
And should our former employer make you an offer that you can't refuse?
We'd like you to refuse it.
Obviously. Don't trade us for something better.
Or sell us out.
And we'll help you. Simple as that.
Yeah. Simple.
We'll bring it up to the group. We aren't deciding without them.
Agreed.
Fine. But don't take too long.
You never know who's waiting to knock on your door.
I say we toss them into the ocean.
Didn't seem to get him the first time.
Second time's a charm.
I'll admit, that is pretty tempting. But if they're telling the truth, we need whatever info they have.
I would rather ask Persnickety Pete.
Leave the puppet in the cabinet.
But he could be very helpful.
For now. I agree with Kate. Let's see what they have to say.
And then we toss them in the ocean.
Bertie, you don't really mean that.
Oh, no. But I want to.
No, you don't. So, new plan. We'll split up into teams and try and trick the truth out of them. If they wind up giving their leverage early, then we don't owe them anything. They'll be someone else's problem.
Well, I can't see this failing spectacularly because, deception worked so well for us last time.
Look, I'm not happy with that whole Frank thing either, but honestly, we really didn't...
Just don't.
So, how do we trick the people we're holding hostage?
You mean Percy and Nora?
I refuse to say their names. I disagree with their existence.
Bertie, just by any means necessary. You learn from your mistakes, right? So think about what we did wrong with Frank and fix it.
Oh yeah. Super easy. I'll get on that right away.
I do it all the time.
All right. Kate and Bertie, you'll go first. Etta, come with me to Submare 3. We need to strategize.
Fine. Let's go.
I'd wish you good luck, but...
We're gonna need more than that. Aren't we?
Finally.
We were beginning to think you'd left us to starve.
You've got crackers right there.
It's a metaphorical starvation, darling.
And how are you finding your accommodations?
Cold.
Dreadfully damp.
Good.
Oh my goodness, Percy! Do you know what this is?
Good cop, bad cop, a classic.
Though I suppose this is bad cop, cop by necessity.
Don't worry, Sunflower, we still love you.
I could be a bad cop.
Oh, of course you could.
Are we done with this portion of the evening? Because if we could cut to the end of your vaudeville act, that'd be swell.
Touchy.
What did we ever do to you?
You stabbed Roger.
Darling, if I wanted him dead, do you really think he'd still be here?
You know of our reputation by now.
You know what we've done.
Watchtower 8, for example.
So, why not kill us too?
Because by then we knew what our former employer knew from the very beginning.
That we weren't going to succeed here.
And that in fact we were never meant to.
So you quit Poseidon?
Because they expected you to fail.
But why would they send you?
Oh, they wanted to see what you would do, how you'd react to threat. What matters to you? If we happen to succeed, all the better, but that wasn't the goal.
We figured that out later, of course.
But right then, knowing failure was inevitable, we thought it best to keep you alive.
And why was that?
Call us romantics.
And we are.
But we believe your love for that magnificent creature in your submares is genuine.
The way you've gone about it is terribly misguided, of course, but let's not let perfect be the enemy of good.
And if you care for him as much as you say you do...
then we can work together.
Or use each other, rather.
We're not that romantic.
Say, I believe you.
That's the spirit.
Why try to stop Poseidon? Your ex-boss might be working with the Hunt Club, but you say she's still trying to get Bob freed. Even if you don't like the method, you still get what you want.
That's if you trust her.
You don't?
Depends on what you mean. Do we trust that she cares about the cause? Very much so. We just finally realized what we should have a long time ago.
Which is what?
But she cares about herself a lot more.
And whatever it is she wants, freeing those magnificent creatures is a bonus. A perk, a means to an end, if I'm being uncharitable. But it's not her end game.
So what does she want?
Bertrand, we've given you our taste for the evening.
Whether you want to see the full menu, that's up to you. Oh, look, the dream team has arrived.
I'm shaking with fear.
God, do you two ever just shut up?
What my associate is trying to say is that we'd like to have a conversation with you. Without the antics.
We've already done this with the others. Don't you all communicate? Surely you know you're not going to get what you need. Not done like this.
Our demands were quite simple. A guarantee of our safety for the promise of yours. I can assure you, should this place come under attack, we'd like nothing more than to help. We're stuck here, after all.
With you.
And it would be such a shame if we all died together. Wouldn't it, Raj?
You have to give us something. Anything? We need to know that your information is good. Useful. I mean, I doubt anything you could give us would be good.
They sure are a spiteful bunch today, aren't they?
To be fair, you did nearly eviscerate me.
Nearly, though. That little adverb means the world between life and death, wouldn't you agree?
Information. Now. Or I do what Birdie can't and I find a way to toss you into the ocean.
Fair enough. How do you feel about family reunions?
I hardly see why that...
Your family reunion, Raj.
Henrietta, darling, when's the last time you saw your aunt?
I don't know. Years ago?
You never wondered why she didn't reach out to you? Try to find you?
Well, she's either dead or she doesn't want to see me. Add her to the list. What's your point?
You used to be such a sweet little girl. That's what she'd say, at least. She talked about you a lot.
She didn't mean to, of course, but captivity does things to a person. Changes them in ways they never thought possible.
You kidnapped her?
Kidnap is such a strong word.
She happened to be in the right place at the wrong time.
We weren't there, of course. We're never there when the good stuff happens. They always give the good stuff to Ballard. We've had more time to do it. We put in all the work. I don't understand why he never gives us anything that we want.
Is she... okay?
She'll work through it. Where are you keeping her aunt?
We told you, we're not keeping her anywhere.
Our former employer is.
We know where she is, of course, and are more than happy to provide you with the exact whereabouts of the once famous paranormal debunker, Yvette Breckenridge.
As long as you agree to your end of the bargain.
I think we're good here, Roger. They're clearly lying. Roger?
Oh, come on, Raj. You know we're telling the truth.
You've heard her voice, haven't you?
We weren't sure if that particular gambit would pay off.
We had to plant that recorder in a place that fool could find it.
Even then, he missed it.
Can you imagine? Frank had one job, and that was to genuinely discover that device.
When he didn't, we slipped it into his pocket. We run in different circles, of course, but from time to time they collide.
We were so sad to have missed him here at Watchtower 10.
Seems he made quite the splash.
In any case, we're glad the recorder found its way back to you.
We did our part, too, of course. Planted another one in the archives where anyone could find it. Though we admit they were both supposed to get to you at a not stop along the way.
Roger? What did you hear?
I'm sorry. I didn't know she was your aunt.
What did you hear?
It wasn't... Frank's recorder, it wasn't the first time. Well, Kate also
Kate knew too? You both had evidence that my aunt was still alive. That she's a hostage somewhere, and you didn't tell me?
I didn't know she was your aunt, okay? It's not like that was in your file. And you've never brought her up, so how the hell was I supposed to know that the voice in these recordings was relevant to your life? I'm sorry that I don't know everything about everyone all the time. I'm just trying my best, but apparently that's not good enough.
Do you know how long I spent searching that place? How I just walk around in circles for days inside of Payne Manor, trying to find something, anything, that would help me figure out where she went. How I wished I'd find a body, because then I'd at least have closure. I'd know that she was there, and that she was dead, and that she wasn't another person who just decided to vanish and not tell me where she was going. I wanted to know what happened to her so badly. And now... is she still alive?
Very much so. The boss is saving her for a big fish. Can't reel her in without good old Yvette.
Oh yeah? And who is that?
Well, let's think about this one. Aside from dear, sweet Etta, who else would be invested in Yvette Breckenridge's safety?
What do you want with her?
Us? Nothing anymore. This isn't our fight, remember? We quit.
Our former employer, however, has a lot of ideas about what she would do with your mother, if she ever decided to save her sister.
Wait, what?
Sorry, that's all you get for free. Agree to our terms, and we're happy to give you the rest.
Until then, why don't you be a good little boy and hand your recorders over to Etta?
I'm sure she could use a small comfort right now.
And what's more comforting than a familiar voice?
I change my vote. Let's chuck them into the Atlantic.
No.
Still tempting, but I think they're more useful to us here.
I agree.
I think I can find a way to contact their old boss. I'm sure she'll give us something nice for sending them back, like protection against whatever's coming.
Sounds like a solid plan. Gotta do what you can for the greater good, and we're definitely the greater good.
No, they stay here.
Etta, look. I know you're still dealing with what happened to your aunt.
What's happening? She's still out there. She's still alive.
Etta, I'm sorry we didn't share those recordings with you. If we'd known
It's not
just
your
how...
fault. Either of you. I'm sorry, Roger. I shouldn't have taken it out on you. But I don't want to trade Percy and Nora. They're the only lead I've got.
But what if we could trade them for your aunt?
It's not going to happen. Yvette Breckenridge is bait, remember?
We can't keep them here.
Why not? There's more than enough room.
They're a liability.
Look around! This whole place is filled with liabilities. I mean, we've got a puppet that's probably possessed by some kind of old god locked in a cabinet. Come on!
We can't trust them.
I know. But they're all we've got.
All you've got, you mean?
What?
You're too close to this.
Oh, I'm sorry. The next time someone tells you that one of your relatives is being used to lure someone who abandoned you out of hiding, I'll be sure to remind you to keep a cool head.
Etta, that's enough.
Bertrand, please, I need someone to be on my side here.
I'm sorry. I can't.
We need you to be with us on this, Etta. We'll find another way to rescue your aunt.
We're making a mistake.
I don't know, make sure she's all right.
No, I think she needs to be alone for a bit. In fact, so do I. I'm gonna go for a nice long walk. Maybe breathe in some of that crisp ocean air.
What do we do with the people we're holding hostage?
Let them sweat it out a little. We all deserve a few minutes of calm before the storm hits.
Is this what calm feels like? I don't like it.
You might want to remember it. It's only going to get worse from here.
Great.
So, I guess you'll want to hear a story again. Or not. We might have lost our one listener recently. That one was on me. But it's, I don't know, calming, you could say, talking like this. And there's no traffic out there to speak of, so, hey. Time to give the hypothetical people what they want. I told you a while back about my job at the Museum of Oceanic Curiosities. Or did I tell you about Aqualand? It blurs together after a while. Point being, I had this manager there. I've had good supervisors and bad supervisors, but he was neither in the end. He didn't do much, but there was rarely much to do. I took tickets, cleaned the spills, locked up for the night. So his job, as he considered it, was to come out of his office once a week or so with a new nugget of wisdom. Little tips for me, the bridge novice, to get by. I don't remember most of them. Most of them aren't worth remembering. But I remember the day he got a faraway look in his eye. And he told me, never trust a promise out here. Maybe someone's out to wrong you from the start, but maybe they could mean it in the moment. Those are the ones to watch out for, he said. Spend enough time on the Transcontinental Bridge, and your truths change. It wasn't long after that I left this job that that I heard this story. I know for sure I told you about the beginning of this one. The gold doubloon, the crown jewel of Checkpoint 15, a casino with a gilded facade and a well-kept secret that could be unlocked by a token, a gatekeeper, and the right word. The secret to immortality. So long as you remained on the bridge for the rest of your eternal life. But let's back up and introduce some characters. A high roller, at first glance, a whale in casino jargon, but not really. In reality, he was an investigative journalist, bankrolled by a massive and hungry mainland media outlet, tasked with finding that much-rumored game that would grant the winner eternal life. An honest Midwestern boy with no interest in immortality, not really. But he could play rich with the best of them, and he wanted to know what was beyond that door. He practiced for months, poker, blackjack, even the slots. But in the end, winning was easy. Far too easy. And he learned something that he didn't expect. That the prize was non-negotiable. But there was a catch. There always is. You can refuse the prize, but someone else needs to take it for you. So, let me introduce our second character now. A sometimes bartender, sometimes blackjack dealer on the casino's second floor. A lowly part-timer. But in his few months there, the reporter had gotten to know him well. First as a lead, then as a source, and then as a fling they both mistook for a relationship. To be fair, I don't think that the reporter knew by that night the part-timer would have done anything for him. I think he was just desperate for someone, anyone, to take his prize. And besides, the reporter had things to go home for. The part-timer did not. The part-timer loved the bridge. The reporter did not. And the reporter promised the part-timer, I'll go home once in a while to visit my folks. But other than that, I won't leave you. So, the part-timer accepted immortality without question. It wasn't a big deal, he thought. He'd worked at the Gold Doubloon long enough to know the score. When he grew tired of eternal life, he could come back here, let someone else win the wager. And besides, he never planned to leave the bridge anyway. It wasn't until it was done that the part-timer started to wonder what he'd done. But it was easy to avoid thinking about most of the time. Because for the first time since he crossed that first mile of the bridge, the part-timer stayed in one place. He couldn't work at the doubloon anymore, of course, but the reporter helped him find another job and a home they could share together. The part-timer always thought he might feel restless, stuck in one place, trapped out in the ocean. But in that place, he felt something more permanent than happiness. It was a slow contentment, creeping in like vines. And besides, there was plenty of time to be restless later. Sometimes it was impossible to forget it wasn't a normal relationship. The part-timer was never going to meet the parents. They were afraid of water, the reporter said. They couldn't swim. Even the home those two shared, relatively near the Virginia Beach port, was too far in for the reporter's family. But the reporter visited them often, satisfied his need for dry land, and the part-timer didn't mind waiting a week or two. What worried him wasn't that the reporter left at all. It was how he'd come back. Tired, quiet, short-tempered. Sometimes he'd pace the balcony that faced the land as if with enough pacing, he could move their home across the ocean and into the port. Maybe that's why the part-timer said it that night over dinner, even though he knew it was foolish and that it would never happen. That maybe they could return to the gold doubloon one day, and the reporter could accept his prize for real this time. He took it back almost immediately, before he could catch the look on the reporter's face. Said he was tired, not thinking clearly, and the reporter seemed to accept it. Kissed his forehead, smiled, and said they should get to sleep. It was normal for the next 2 weeks, like he'd forgotten all about it. Like he felt that slow contentment, too. It wasn't until the reporter left for his next trip to the mainland that the part-timer recognized that calm for what it was, a decision made. He wanted to look, but there was one last tenet of the wager to consider. That if he left the bridge, he would remain immortal, but his memories up to that moment would be gone. He'd be on the mainland forever, searching, without any memory of what he was searching for in the first place. In the grand scheme of the part-timer's life, their relationship wasn't a long one. Long enough for the reporter to develop a few lines and wrinkles the part-timer never would. Long enough to build a home over the fissure between them that was always there, deep within the earth. Long enough to change a mind. So that part-timer learned what my boss told me all those years ago at the museum. What I took years to understand myself. That you never trust a promise made out here, even if they mean it in the moment. They're not going to mean it forever.
Hey, we're all here. Are you ready?
Yeah. We'll be right down.
It's past time we heard their answer, isn't it?
Now then,
Do we have a deal?
No.
Roger!
Etta, I'm sorry, but this isn't happening. I'm not gonna let it happen.
So you're going to leave Yvette Breckenridge to die?
My heavens.
Roger, we can't just...
Etta, listen to me. I will do everything in my power to help you find your family, but I'm not gonna let these two get their hooks into you.
Did you hear that, Nora? Everything in his power.
You're a real tough guy all of a sudden.
It's the truth.
So why are you shaking?
Kate, please.
I know this is hard, Etta, but I'm with Roger on this. It's too big a risk.
We'll help you find her, Etta.
And by then, it might be too late. And if she dies, You don't need me here. You've all made up your minds.
Etta.
Bang up job, Mr. Supervisor.
Really lovely work. Usually we're the ones sowing the discord. It's nice to put our feet up for a change.
Roger,
Huh?
Are you okay?
Fine.
Let's take this outside. We'll deal with you two later.
By all means. Confer.
We'll be right here, Roger. You have plenty of time to regret this.
Etta, wait.
Why? Nothing I say is going to change your mind.
He made the right call. I know you don't want to hear it, but it's not.
I know that. I know it's the right decision. And I know it's not his fault. But This isn't what I'm here for, Kate. Not for the Watchtower, or for traffic reports, or even for Bob. I came back out here to find my family. This is the first lead I've had in I don't even know how long, and you can't ask me to be okay with letting it go. I don't care if that's unreasonable.
Wow.
What?
For someone who loves stories, you missed a pretty big plot development.
What?
That we would never ask you to let it go. We know it's not the same, Etta, but you have family here too. And once we get through this, we'll do everything we can to help you. So, who do you trust to have your back? Them or us?
I didn't miss that. I just...
What? Forgot?
Sorry.
Just come downstairs. Roger and Bertie are waiting for us, and we should plan while we still have time.
Where's Etta?
She wanted to be alone. Understandable.
I could go talk to her.
No. We have pressing things to worry about right now.
Right. Kate, you said you had a way to contact Poseidon? Looks like we've got a deal to make.
If I do this, do you promise not to ask any questions?
Yes.
No. Okay. I'll make a call.
Mom? If you're out there, if you're who they say you are, then you know how to find me. I don't know why you haven't yet, but I guess that doesn't matter right now. They have her. We need to talk. Thank you so much for listening to The Bridge. This episode was written by Rebecca Mahoney and Alex Brown. It features, in order of appearance, Chris Martin as Roger, David Piccarello as Bertie, Liz Hull as Kate, Alex Brown as Etta, Danielle Wood as Nora, and James Turner as Percy. Our special guest was Alex Najibi as The Alarm. The music playing under our scenes was created by the winner of the Best Person Ever award for 10 years running, Sarah Fairchild. Our Hella Great theme was created by the equally hella great Jake Hull. This episode was edited and mixed by Alex Brown. As always, thank you to Dead Signals, the creators of Archive 81 and the Deep Vault podcast, for providing some of the sound effects used in this episode. We appreciate you. Want to play a poker game for your own shot at immortality? Unfortunately, you can't really do that, as far as I know, but you can check out our website at thebridgepod.com to learn more about the cast and crew, read our scripts, and check out some character bios. We've been a bit delayed, still, in answering emails, but we promise we're reading them. If you'd like to drop us a line, you can email us at watchtower10reports@gmail.com. You can also click on the little mail icon on our website if that's more your jam. You can find us on Twitter at bridge_podcast and on Facebook and Tumblr. We're friendly, unless you start to try to make a deal with one of our former employers. Looking for more amazing audio dramas to love? We recommend Kaleidotrope and Red Rhino. Thank you once again for listening to The Bridge. We're so excited to be back, and we hope you enjoy these outtakes.
Let's do that 1/2 more time.
1/2. Only read the first page.
Yes.
Well, that was mean.
Bunch of dicks.
I think, well, that was mean is my favorite little stage note.
That's as soon as I finished that scene, I was like, yep, that's just gonna stay in there. That was mean. That was pretty mean. Kate. Why did you have to do that, man?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
That was awesome.
Good.
It's like no face, spirit of yours.
All right, I apologize. I'm so sorry.
All right. Okay. Bertrand, please. I need someone to be on my side here.
No. Oh, I'm sorry. It just froze. Did you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That was
I was
awesome.
like, I need someone to be on my side here, and then we just hear it.
What a
No.
great, a great
Oh, is
acting
that what
moment.
happened? I'm sorry. I thought my whole thing had frozen. I just saw Alex's face, like... And so I assumed my no would not actually get picked up.
Okay.
No. I'm sorry. No.
Waham? If you're out there, if you're who you say they are, what?
Yeah. I'll be right down.
Boom.
Yay! Great again. Also, you know what I realized as you were talking?
What's that?
I totally forgot to hit record on Zoom, so we haven't been.
Wait, what?
The bloopers have been lost. It's all my fault.
No!
Oh, no! I just hit record now to record our reactions to me not recording. Oh, no! Oops, I think I got distracted because we were all like, oh yeah, let's record individually, which is a good idea because
Right.
I didn't hit the button.
Perhaps the bloopers will persist on there.
Yes, on the individual ones. Though, I mean, Rebecca, if you want to read a couple Gollum lines because you're not recording, I would be more than happy to put that in there.
All right.
I can't believe I forgot to hit record. Jesus.
You're all here to hear a story. You might have lost our one listener recently. That one was on Smeagol.
Oh, so good. Oh, man. Okay.
Do you want us to clap? Should we clap? I'm sure she'll add that, right?
I imagine she'll add the slow clapping, but we can do it just in case. There you go. Ready, slow clap.
Oh. Try again. Wait, we can't because I just dropped the thing. Okay, go.
God.
Too much.